I am usually more comfortable when I am on the stage dancing, and talking another language is a challenge for me. So let's try. And I would like to say that around 10 years ago, I already was a professional dancer and a pharmacist in my free time. And I didn't know that art and science could be together. I used to think that art and science was images like that. And I used to think that this used to be the only way that we could imagine art and science. But my first project, integrating dance and science, gave me a new perspective of this interaction. The Life in 6/8 was a dance show inspired by a scientific topic, the cycle of life. Our two main goals in this project was promote a real experience in which students could realize both scientific and artistic knowledge, and also search for alternative procedures for understand science. This was an amazing project, more than 2 years, with many incredible artists, scientists, researchers, and all this experience became a book and also a movie. Can you turn off the lights, please? Yeah, this movie was awarded here in the US, and we present in many other venues. Another project connecting these two things, art and science, was a project called Auto-Organização. By the way, my name is João Silveira. It's so easy. It's not so easy for Americans to say, yeah. But because of that, many people call me John. But Auto-Organização was a project called, we can say, self-organization in English. And in this project, our idea was think about alternatives for biodegradable products. We are based in surfactants, that's a chemistry compound, and with that we create a choreography and all this process of integration of dancers thinking or have the same informations that you use in the computer science to think about surfactants, give us a new perspective and a new integration of both areas. This was in Museum of Tomorrow, Museu do Amanhã in Rio de Janeiro. That's an incredible venue of science and where people would like to think about the future. These are the surfactants. I also would like to share with you some experience when I was choreographing robot chairs during the Hacking Art at MIT Media Lab. Our main question was, how many hours do you spend in front of a computer? So the MIT researcher Simon Hong created the robot chair, and I worked with him to improve the concept of the product. This funny dance of chairs was presented to the audience with a performance called Chairbot Dance, robotic, science, art, technology, movement. More than an illustration of the chair, our work together changed the initial concept, what I consider a real transdisciplinary experience. To finish my examples, I would like to show you or share with you a performance called Aqui, that means here, where you use VR, tilt brush, and dance to think about what is here when you are here. So we use this VR equipment in a dancer, in a performer, and I choreograph what she was painting. and the audience was seeing her and the virtual reality. So this was an incredible experience where we could try many important questions in our process of creation. After a few examples of my own experience, I can say that I understand that art and science is much more than science communication. And I'm happy there are so many people like you guys, and I know many people around the world that have and are making incredible projects, breaking disciplinary barriers. So I began to investigate what is art and science, or what's art science, or these many names that we can use, like ArtScience, C-Art, Art Plus Science, STEAM, or many other acronyms we can use. My questions are very simple, is who are doing that? Where they are doing that? And why people doing that? So I would share with you right now some insights I have about this question. And the first thing is that there are many names like complexity, postmodernity, knowledge society, information age, network society, liquid modernity. There is a lot of knowledge in the field of philosophy and sociology that give us indications that we are going through many transformations in our contemporary days. My thesis is that society has created conditions for people to be naturally multidisciplinary. Or as Denise Lanis and I prefer to say, society has created conditions for people to be complex. What I mean is that art and science together is very natural in our contemporary world. And we have a lot of examples of that. Julia talked, everybody that's showing their projects here is very good examples of that. And if we think about 15, 20 years ago, we didn't have the same scenario. There's a strong indication that art science, the indication of the art science growth. What we can notice from the emergence of several laboratories dedicated to research and production of art and science projects. We have many examples around the world. I just put the Laboratoire because it's where I am, but we can think about in Australia, Symbiotica, we can think in Los Angeles Arts Center, we can think Ars Electronica in Europe, we can think in Nanolab or many other labs in Brazil. So we have a bunch of examples around the world. And as Julia mentioned it, and she published in the C-Art magazine, there's an increasing number of artistic residences in institutes, artistic residence in science institutes. Even we don't know exactly the outcomes of these residences, what I think that we must figure out what we are doing. I already talked with JD about that. I already talked with Julia and many other collaborators. But even we don't know exactly, we know that the general idea is not to put the artists and scientists together to think about the same problems. Another indication, we are saying this many times, is the STEAM movement. Education is a key word when we think about art science. This movement fosters cross-disciplinary exchanges in education. For me, it's pretty clear that creativity is essential in our lives. And this is a key word when we think about the interaction between art and science. If you would like to talk just about creativity in science, I could give you a good example. I will share with you some data from Dr. Robert from Michigan University. where there is some comparison between Nobel winners in science and average scientists. Nobel winners in science are 22 times more likely than average scientists to sing, dance, and act. Poetry and literature, 12 times more. Visual arts, 7 times more. So, after present some examples of my professional experience and share with you some ideas and insights about my research, I just would like to remember you that in the history, art and science have been together many times. After separated, and now we are at a time that art and science are naturally together again. Yes, I think art can help the scientific communication. Why not? And also science can and should be in the art context. However, in our contemporary times, art and science make sense together with cross-disciplinary collaboration. In terms of Brazil, my home country, we are in the middle of an economic and political crisis. I'm seeing the news here and around the world, and I think the situation is not so different in other parts of the world. So I truly believe that fostering art and science together is the only way to create solutions to our world. Thank you.